My boyfriend Paul and I met online 6 years ago through an online game, RuneScape. We both played the game a lot and connected through it, which led us to a long distance relationship. Things began to escalate, and we began seeing each other in person every few months. We were about 1,500 miles apart, so one of our main priorities for the future was moving in together. Our relationship didn't have any serious issues, and we were happy to have each other. But all the problems began when I started working a lot. Of course, I didn't have time for RuneScape, but my long-distance boyfriend continued to play regularly. He didn't work and barely had an income. Even though we didn't live together, I supported Paul throughout the years and even paid his rent. I never really minded it because he was a sweetheart. But eventually, I couldn't afford to support him since I had to pay my own living expenses. So I called Paul and suggested I help him find a job, but he wasn't having it. He didn't want to work at all. All he wanted to do was play RuneScape. Then he said that I should work harder and possibly find a second job. After our talk, I cried for hours. I really considered breaking up with him, but I decided to give him another chance. Looking back on it, yeah, big mistake. After our fight, we talked a lot and sort of made up. I suggested he visit me since we hadn't seen each other for a long time. Paul arrived and everything was perfect. But one day I caught a glimpse of his phone while he was taking a shower. It was a message from another girl saying, "When are you going to leave her?" I was shocked. But somehow I managed to hold myself together. When he came out of the bathroom, I didn't say anything and just gave him a fake smile. Immediately after he went to sleep, I took his phone and started digging through his messages with that girl. So, yeah, Paul had been cheating on me for nearly 6 months. I guess he hooked up with her directly after I couldn't pay for his living expenses. He talked shit about me and even sent this girl my nudes. I had never felt so used and disrespected in my entire life. I wanted to kick him out of my house, but I didn't. The next day, I dropped him off at the airport, and we said a quick goodbye. I drove back home as calmly as I could before crying my eyes out. I wanted to break his heart by the time he arrived back home, so I logged into his precious 14-year-old RuneScape account, and then I started destroying and selling everything that he's been working on for more than a decade. I wanted to waste his RuneScape's life earnings on the most stupid thing I could think of. So I spent all his riches on the most useless burnt spiders and left them in his account. It might sound petty, but I laughed for a while. I still had hundreds of possible forms of revenge in my head, so I decided to act as him and contacted all of his friends, admitting that I had cheated on my girlfriend and was fully proud of it. Lastly, I changed his username just to let everybody know that he's a dirty cheater. I did the best I could to embarrass him with a 12-character limit. Of course, when Paul got back home, he sent me a very hateful and aggressive message, followed by pictures of him crying. I wrote him a sincere message officially ending the relationship. I scared him away by threatening to take him to court over sharing my nudes. Now, I know what others might think, that this is so cruel and that I ruined thousands of hours he had put into this game, but honestly, I don't care. Nobody can understand how he hurt me, and it was about time he learned that I can also be a mean. I just hope I'll never see him again.